From Nepal, the landscape changes suddenly. As our plane approaches Leh, snow-covered mountains rise up beneath us, sharp ridges, wide valleys, and bare rock broken by streaks of white. From the air, Ladakh looks immense and empty, a high-altitude world shaped more by geology than by vegetation. Landing in Leh, you immediately feel the difference. At over 3,500 meters, the air is thin, the light is bright, and everything moves a little more slowly. Even walking requires adjustment. This is not the Himalayas of forests and terraces. This is a cold desert, where life has adapted to altitude and scarcity. After settling in, we begin walking through Leh town, letting the place introduce itself at street level. Above the town rises Leh Palace, a 9-story structure built in the 17th century by the Namgyel dynasty. Modeled on the Potala Palace in Lhasa, it once housed Ladakh's royal family and symbolized Leh's position on the old trade routes linking Tibet, Central Asia, and India. From a distance, the palace almost blends into the mountainside, earth-colored walls rising directly from the rock. It's less ornate than palaces elsewhere in India, but perfectly suited to this landscape. Walking around the old town, you see how Leh developed beneath it. Narrow lanes, whitewashed houses, prayer flags strung across rooftops, and small shops supplying everyday needs. Tibetan Buddhism is visible everywhere, not only in monasteries but in daily gestures, mani walls, prayer wheels, and quiet shrines built into walls and paths. This landscape has shaped the religion just as much as the religion has shaped the landscape. Ladakh sits at a crossroads of the Himalayas, where trade routes once connected Tibet, Central Asia, Kashmir, and northern India. For centuries, caravans passed through these valleys carrying salt, wool, silk, and ideas. Buddhism arrived here from Tibet over 1,000 years ago and took deep root, becoming the spiritual backbone of Ladakhi life. Unlike the dense monastic networks of central Tibet, Buddhism in Ladakh developed in a harsher, more isolated environment. Monasteries were built high on cliffs and ridges, not only for spiritual reasons, but for protection and survival. From these vantage points, monks watched over valleys, villages, and trade routes below. The form of Buddhism practiced here is Vajrayana, emphasizing ritual, mantra, and visual symbolism. But in Ladakh, it is also deeply practical. Prayer wheels line footpaths because turning them requires no extra time. Devotion is woven into daily movement. Many walls appear where paths bend or villages begin, gently reminding travelers to slow down, circle clockwise, and continue with intention. For centuries, Ladakh was an independent Buddhist kingdom, culturally and spiritually aligned with Tibet. Its kings supported monasteries, commissioned murals and statues, and helped preserve Buddhist learning during periods when it declined elsewhere. Even today, many of Ladakh's monasteries hold ancient texts, ritual objects, and lineages that survive precisely because of this isolation. Life here has always required balance, between movement and stillness, between the worldly and the spiritual. Farming seasons are short, winters are long and silent. In such an environment, Buddhism offers structure, a rhythm of festivals, prayers, and rituals that mark time when the land itself seems frozen. In recent decades, Ladakh has changed rapidly. Roads, flights, tourism, and outside influences have brought new opportunities and new pressures. Yet the everyday signs of Tibetan Buddhism remain remarkably resilient. Children still spin prayer wheels on the way to school. Elders pause at shrines without breaking stride. Monks walk through town, robes bright against the dust-colored streets. Here, Buddhism is not confined to belief or philosophy. It is carried in footsteps, breath, repetition, and habit. And perhaps that is why it feels so present in Ladakh. Not imposed, not ornamental, but quietly essential, shaped by centuries of living at the edge of altitude, climate, and time itself. From many points in town, the view opens outward. Snow-capped peaks ring the valley, their scale impossible to ignore. Even when you're focused on streets and buildings, the mountains are always there, framing every movement. Some scenes may include distant views toward Shanti Stupa, perched on a hill above the town. Built in the late 20th century, it's a symbol of peace and also one of the best vantage points over the Indus Valley and Leh itself. What's striking in Leh is how compact everything feels, despite the vastness around it. You can walk across much of the town on foot, moving between palace, monasteries, markets, and residential areas in a short time. Yet every turn reminds you that you're in a high-altitude environment where nature sets firm limits. Mid-June, when we're here, Ladakh is just opening up for the season. Roads over the high passes are beginning to clear. The town feels active but not crowded. Travelers arriving, locals preparing for summer, and the rhythm of daily life settling into place after winter isolation. Walking through Leh at this time, there's a sense of balance. Modern travel and ancient roots overlap. Royal history, monastic life, and everyday commerce coexist. And everywhere, the mountains dominate the horizon. This is not a place you rush through. La asks you to slow down, to walk, to adjust, and to look outward as much as inward. And this is just the beginning of Ladakh.
If you would like to know more about my experience over the past 5 decades, learning and using more than 30 languages around the globe, with adventures in 101 countries so far, then please visit my website, polyglotdreams.com. There you will find my memoir, A Life in 30 Languages, translated in various languages and integrated with audio and dual readers to offer a great way to improve your target languages.